What's going on, all you beautiful people out there? Welcome into another episode of the Barking Brown Show. I'm Jacob. That's Nick. Mr. Casey Kinnaman down below. We're brought to you, as always, by our friends over at Homage Apparel. The best. Look at that. What are we twinning here? We got twinning going on. Mine is clearly, I've had mine clearly longer, as it is much significantly more faded than yours.
I didn't get the old. See, that's the beauty of having Browns gear. It goes to that classic orange over time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Look at that.
It just works its way down. It's, but we appreciate all of you for checking in with us. If you're watching us on YouTube, we've been getting some views, but not them subs. So smash that sub button on YouTube because it's free. If you're watching us on Twitter or Twitch right now, go to the youtube.com/the Barking Browns, hit that sub button, support the show, help us grow. Gentlemen, how are we this Tuesday?
This is a spicy prediction episode, and I posted a spoiler as the quote tweet for the show on Twitter. We're gonna have some fun tonight, and I promise you that. Casey came up. I got to give him the credit. Casey came up with all the topics, and it's gonna be fun.
That's accurate. I do watch college.
Well, man, I'm excited to do this. Like, this is like part of, like, we talk about, well, they're showing clips. Don't read too much into it, but get excited. This is the get excited portion. This is the get excited show. It's way too early. I don't want to hear a damn thing if these projections are wrong, but if they're right, we're going to scream it from the rooftops. So, no harm, no foul tonight.
Oh, if we get them all wrong, I'm just deleting the video. Like, there's not going to be.
Just make it private.
Yeah, there's no evidence that this ever took place. Well, guys, we got a little bit of news to talk about on the eve. Just a heads up, tomorrow is the NFL draft. NFL schedule drops at like 8 or something. We'll probably be live at like 8:30, probably like 8:30 or so for probably 20-25 minutes and kind of run through that stuff real quick. A little bonus episode. You'll get 3 episodes this week. You get this episode, that episode, and the Jamari Thrash episode this week. So
no London, just no London.
Well, the rumor is they're going to Jacksonville week 2. That's a leak.
Really?
That was a leak that I saw.
Come visit me. I'll be down there. That's why London, baby.
That's what the leaks on the Twitterverse says. I don't know how accurate that is, but it seems that, like, I think Mary Kay even kind of alluded to she might think that was true. Like, it's interesting. So, but we do know 100% they're going to open at home, 4:25 p.m. kickoff on September 8th against the Dallas Cowboys. It's Tom Brady's debut as a commentator. And I know some people feel certain kinds of ways about Tom Brady. But I'm actually kind of excited about that, to like be able to, I don't know. He may be really good. He may be really bad. I'm just so excited and intrigued by what he could be that I kind of like it. I kind of like the fact that his first game will be a Browns game. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I think it's really interesting that not only do the Browns get the 4:25 game against the Cowboys, which know
is Fox's game of the week.
Right. Every year I feel the Cowboys start in the 4:25 slot. And everybody watches the Cowboys. They're just one of the hot topics of the NFL. So, like, for the Browns to play host to them is certainly significant in my mind, especially when you're talking about 2 teams that were playoff teams last year, 2 teams with large fan bases and a lot of hopes coming into the season. I love it. It's a great matchup. And to have Tom Brady debuting, right? I remember in 2021 when the Browns opened at the Chiefs, and that set like all kinds of viewing records at the time. And it seems like the NFL is like this unstoppable force that just goes up, up, up. So I'm sure it's been broken since. But my point is, Browns and Cowboys to begin with draw a ton of people. Tom Brady to the mix in Cleveland. Oh, I'm so excited. I love that. I think I put this out there today. Like, there were a lot of people that bashed what the Browns accomplished last year. The NFL is giving the Browns that type of treatment where, like, hey, we can make a statement here. We can make a statement.
Yes. There's a double-edged sword to this. I'm not a huge fan of 4:25 games. And typically I want to play at 1 o'clock. But in this instance, I'm jacked for it because This is the weight of expectations game. This is
Oh,
last few years we've kind of slid under the radar, plan at that 1 o'clock slot to open the year. I think we're ready. I think that this is where you take that step. And if you guys want to be high on them bullshit power rankings that come out week after week after week, start off on a high note, beat a high profile team on the national stage. And I'm calling my shot now. Tom Brady's going to be fake as fuck. He's just going to be fake. He don't have a real personality. He's just going to he's not going to be a genuine person up there. So
okay,
prepare for the robot shit.
I don't, I'm not. Drew's got some stuff for you. Dick's Wings, Gators, and Whitney's Fish Camp. Excellent dining in Jacksonville. There you go.
Okay.
Drew, I'm going to be there, man. If they play week 2, you guys come down. Like, I'll meet you there. That's it, man. That's my away game this year, unless it's in London.
Might be able to make it work. I'm not positive, but if they do play in Jacksonville, I've always wanted to go. I might be able to make that work.
My youngest brother is an Eagles fan, so there's a decent enough chance that we're going to try to take him to that game. So,
oh, nice. In Philly?
Yeah, in Philly.
Okay.
He's never been to an Eagles game, and then it being a Browns game as well, it just seems like kind of a good way to go.
I just had a thought. So week 1, right? Browns home opener, 4:25. You're looking at around 12 hours of muni lot tailgating.
Jeff Lloyd, yes, I think it was. Yeah, it was Jeff Lloyd. When that dropped, he tweeted something about. He was like, "You guys need to pace yourself in the muni," and I responded. I was like, "Never." Like, I'm not gonna be there, but like
it's probably gonna be like 80 degrees.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
nasty, no wind, just pure sun.
That is not going to
be. It's going to rain right over the stadium. What are you talking about?
No, but it won't rain in the muni lot while you're
that's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Because we were at week 1 last year, Casey, and literally nothing on the radar and just constant, just drip, wet.
Not in the muni. Not in the muni. The muni was fine. No. As soon as we got to the fucking game.
Stadium.
It was like, but no, I love it, man. Like, of course, a friend of the show, Randy Gursey, covers both teams, so he's got a nice, easy assignment week 1. He just has to cover that one game,
the Birds and Stones game of the week.
Yeah, man. Like, I like that. That's cool. Like, being the game of the week, kicking it off. You're not. I mean, last year we had the advantage, of course, of kicking it off a big game with Cincinnati. So now you've got back-to-back years where they've given you good opponents.
Yeah.
Like I know that, Burrow wasn't healthy and it was a rainstorm and it was everything that it was last year, but they're giving you good opponents and they're putting, like Nick said, they're putting you 425. They're putting you on Fox's game of the week.
Yep.
And people are going to watch it, rather they think Brady's going to be good or not. A lot of people are going to tune in for that as well. So, like you said, they're telling you what they think about this team and who they should be in 2024.
I'm gonna watch that bitch on mute.
Hey, you know what? In Tom Brady's defense, the last time he was in Cleveland Browns Stadium, he didn't have a good time. So, if anyone remembers that Myles Garrett sack on, I think it was third and something to get the Browns the ball back. And David Njoku skied and caught that touchdown on 4th and 10.
Yep.
Oh, baby.
I just, Mac the Buffalo posted that today on Facebook or on Twitter again. And I was like, yeah, that's a good memory. That's a core memory right there.
Jacoby's last throw with the Browns.
Was it?
Is it really?
I don't.
What happened after that?
Watson.
Oh,
that was the last game Jacoby started.
Yeah,
man, it's been a journey.
Yeah, it's something special. All right.
One question before we start? One question, because with the schedule being released tomorrow, and you guys definitely will definitely be live tomorrow. I just want to look back on this. Mm-hmm. How many primetime games for the Browns? I'm talking Thursday, Sunday, Monday. How many primetime?
Thursday
games?
It's going to be 4.
I say 3.
I think we get 4.
I think you get one of each. That's what I'll say. A Sunday, a Monday, and obviously a Thursday.
I think that's true, but I think you also get Christmas.
Oh, you're right, because I've heard. What is Christmas? Is it a Saturday? What is Christmas this year?
I'll find out.
He'll find out.
I will find out. Give me 1 second. Okay, so June.
I think it's a Monday or Tuesday.
December 25th is a Wednesday.
Oh, Jesus.
A Wednesday. Oh yeah, we have Wednesday football, NFL.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I'll take 4. I'll take him on Christmas. I'll go to 4.
I'll agree. I'm gonna agree. I think that's gonna be
one
bizarre.
of each.
Hey, you know what? I can use the Browns playing on Christmas. That's fine.
A Sunday, a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. That's what.
Perfect.
So we'll take here ahead of that, and just as long as it doesn't go like the last time we played on Christmas. Anyway,
Christmas Eve,
huh?
Last time we played on Christmas Eve was Amari Cooper broke Josh Gordon's touchdown record.
But the last time they played on Christmas, Baker Mayfield threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah, that was. There was not enough fatheads Christmas ale in the whole world that day.
All right, we are going to do our way the fuck too early predictions for the 2024 season as we kind of barrel through this. And we get into this lull period of trying to figure out what's going to happen content wise, but we'll still have our film reviews coming out. Jamari Thrash will be this Friday. We'll have that up. The Zach Center and Michael Hall, they're both up over on the YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. All right, so I'm going to start with the team predictions. We've got 3 categories. We've got player predictions, team predictions, bold predictions. I want to start with the team predictions because I think they're easier. And then we'll go from there. Well, or do you think we should go to player first?
I think the Browns overall are going to be driven by how Deshaun is. So I think going with those stats to begin with makes the most sense.
Okay. I'll tee it up to you then. Give me a stat line prediction for Deshaun Watson.
Okay, so I'm going back I was looking at Deshaun's performances by year, and I didn't want to get too crazy. I just want to make sure I have the year right here. Okay, so I looked back to 2019 when Deshaun he completed 67% of his passes. He threw 3,852 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And I feel like I'm not trying to go for the moon here. I just want to see Deshaun be positively moving forward, because in Andrew Berry's recent press conference, he said they expect Deshaun to play well. And of course they do, right? So I kind of went along that line. My prediction for where Deshaun's going to be for next year is 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not trying to get pie in the sky. I just need you, like on this talented team, to be a solid quarterback. And I think if you throw more than double your touchdowns to picks, if you get kind of flirt with that 4,000 mark, I feel like we'll be in good shape. So I'm saying Deshaun, they revamped the staff. I'm saying Deshaun takes a step forward. He's still 28 years old. That's where I'm at.
Well, and he just said on his podcast, he talked about, he admits that he needs to stop going for the home run all the time and just take what the defense gives him. Yeah. He said there's schemed open things underneath routes, crossers, backside digs, all these, whatever is open, he needs to take it. So, I mean, he's admitted to as much.
The mythological backside dig.
Oh, God.
I
just need somebody to hit a fucking backside dig.
It'll be Judy this year.
I hope so. And that's what I'm not trying to get. I don't think the numbers are going to be super sexy for Deshaun this year, but if he can prove that he can take that step forward and be a part of winning, I know I would like the bar to be higher. I think it could be higher in the future. What I'm looking for here is like solidify yourself as the team's future at quarterback. So if you throw 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, I think that's what that does. And it feels reasonable given the weapons surrounding. What do you guys say?
My bar is slightly higher. I'm along the same lines as you. I didn't look back at the past stats, but it's pretty similar stat line. I got 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions,
Okay.
3,850 yards.
Ooh.
But I have this in 14 games.
Oh.
I think he
that's
misses 3 games, and he still puts up those yardage, and there'll still be the noise surrounding him that he's not the reason, even though his outline will be very Baker 2020.
Okay. That's fine.
I really didn't think I was going to come out on top of this, but I guess I am.
Okay.
I'll go a little bit lower and say 64% completion, somewhere around there.
Okay.
A little bit lower, but I'll say right around an even 4,000 yards. Right, give or take 50 or 60, like could be like a 3950 or maybe like a 4100, somewhere with that. I think somewhere in that range, because I know it's just like a podcast, but like my hope is what he said is like he's really taking that to heart and he's not just bullshitting, because if that's the case, he has the accuracy to take the layups at a high clip.
Right.
Like he's got the arm to do it. And I know I just said he's only going to complete 64% of his passes, but I'm talking about, he's still going to take those chances. He's still going to try to push it down the field. So I'll give him an even 4,000 and just give me 30 and 14. I'll go 30 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
I think it's important to keep in mind here that with the Browns' talent level overall and with where the defense was last year, and we'll get there, Deshaun doesn't have to be stellar. Like we saw now, Flacco in a very limited sample was leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns and all of that stuff. But the Browns had no run game to speak of. So I'm hoping, like I know they want to pass more, but I do expect I expect improvement in the run game, like actual getting back to the Kevin Stefanski's success. So to me, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, maybe these numbers on the surface aren't the sexiest, right? But Deshaun doesn't need to be that for the Browns to be a really good team. And so it's like, just prove you're that guy. Prove you're the guy. That's what has to happen to me.
I see a couple of win-loss record comments, and we'll pull those up when we get to that
getting
category.
Spicy in the chat.
Well, that's what he does. All right, next up, I'll start with you, Casey. We got Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy yard predictions.
Okay. So I'm going slightly lower than Cooper's been notching year in, year out. I got 1,100 for Coop. Another solid year, another year of him being unappreciated on a national scale. But he'll be the lead puncher here. I got Jeudy at 850.
You motherfucker.
And then people will also somehow be kind of underwhelmed by it, but I think it'll come off because I do think you're going to get more production out of your wide receiver 3 and 4 and your tight end. That it's, that 850 is going to feel heavier than it is because you're not just relying on 2 guys.
That's exactly what I had 1,100 and 850.
Should have went first, bitch.
Okay. To be fair, I have 1,100 and 750. I personally, and I know we're going to get there, I think that this could be a year where David Njoku really solidifies himself as like that, either like the 1A, 1B type situation with Amari in the pass game. And so I think Jeudy will have a solid season, but I think Njoku is just going to be higher on that pecking order. We saw him play so well down the stretch last year. So to me, I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, if I've got 3,600 yards to play with as I'm predicting, that feels somewhere in there. I feel like it's going to be the 3 head. Like, Casey, you mentioned the wide receiver 3. Are you expecting Elijah Moore to have like a nice season then?
Yes, I think Moore will have a slight uptick in not in receptions, but in impact and average yards per catch.
Efficiency, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a more efficient season. I think he'll find himself in situations that he can succeed in easier than just being that gadget slot guy. There'll still be some of that for him. I'm not going to go all the way away from it. But with Judy's ability to play inside and outside, I think that it's more balanced. And I think you're going to see Elijah Moore affect more of the vertical game this year.
Okay.
All right, I'll start. David Njoku tutters. Give me 11.
Oh, baby.
Give me 11. I don't care who the quarterback is. Look his way in the red zone because of all the other weapons. I just think, especially in the red zone and what he did after the catch last year, I think it's just going to be. I just think he builds on it, man. I'm a David Njoku stan. I've been that for years. There was something he said in a recent. I wrote this up on Browns Wire where he basically said that he will not accept any sort of Cleveland slander for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Which is interesting because he called Micah Parsons a bit of an idiot in that same speech, and then he gets to match up against him week 1. So
love that.
He's going to get the opportunity to block him. They're going to have the opportunity to go one-on-one. I'm very,
you won't shy away from it.
Oh, he will. Fuck no, he won't. I'm very, very.
Mike is a stud. I mean, it is what it is. Mike is.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Mike is one of the best. Yeah, he's fantastic. And I was completely wrong on that one. I also didn't think he was going to be made into a pass rusher, and that's part of it. I thought he was going to be an off-ball linebacker. But it's just what he does after the catch, what these other guys are, the attention these other guys are going to get, especially when Nick Chubb's back. Give me 11 Njoku touchdowns.
Okay, so Njoku had 6 last year, which was a nice season. I'm at 8. I think he's going to be that go-to a red zone type guy, and it. You kind of made me question myself now saying 11.
I mean, he swung big.
Yeah.
I'll probably miss that. That's the one I'll definitely miss on.
David Njoku could easily lead all Browns receivers in touchdowns. I think that all Browns pass catchers in touchdowns. I feel like he had 6 last year. If you take the next step, 8 feels good to me. 11 double-digit touchdowns is certainly in the range of outcomes. Because I feel like they realized how good David Njoku was. They started to feature him in the pass game, and he was so good at I still that Chicago game lives in my head, and just the way he took them down the field and was like the difference maker in that game. I saw for the first time in my whole life, I saw a dominant Browns tight end, and it was amazing. So I'm going 8. I'm going 8, but 11, I'd be, oh my God.
Can't believe Gary Barnett just took a stray like that.
Well,
that year,
okay.
I'll never forget the time he caught that ball on his ass.
With his taint. He caught that shit on his taint.
Yeah, right on that motherfucker.
So for Njoku, I think 11 is on the table because it's all about opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's a guy that if he gets enough opportunities, he's going to do that. With as many mouths to feed, I landed on the same number that Nick did, 8, which would still be a slight uptick. But I wish it would look, man. Deshaun Watson, for some reason, there's a misconception that he just relies heavily on tight ends. He really doesn't. But Fells had a good role as a red zone threat. Not as a between the 20s. Well, David's more of the between the 20s is what he's been with Watson. And we saw his ability in the red zone more when Flacco came in. So this is one of those situations where we have to hope that while Deshaun was out watching Flacco lead this team, he's seen how he was able to use David he's the easiest guy to get the ball to, and he gives you the most after the catch. It's a no-brainer. If you're not getting David Njoku a minimum of 8 targets per game, you're doing your offense a disservice.
Agreed.
So,
Drew says the thing he's looking forward to the most this season is Myles Garrett sacking Russell Wilson. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, I think it'll be Justin Fields, but okay.
Well, it depends. It depends on the time of the year. I think Russ starts the year, but we'll see what happens. I think I don't know. It's whatever it is. All right, this is an interesting one. And Nick, it's back to you to start this one. Nick Chubb's rushing yards versus the rest of the team.
Okay, so I looked at where the Browns' rushing game was overall, and they're somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 rushing yards overall.
Okay.
And just based on Stefanski's history and the Browns as a team. So looking at that, I don't think they're going to. I believe they signed Foreman and kept Ford and have Nyheim Hines. Like they have options in the run game. So I am predicting that they will again hit 2,000 yards rushing. I think this is going to be an efficient offense. I don't think the attempts will be as high as they have been in the past. I do believe them when they say that they want to pass more. So predicting the Browns around 2,000 rush yards again is going to require some efficiency with the attempts, I think. So I'm saying Chubb gets 700 of them. The team gets 1,300 of them. That number could be way off. I was listening to the OBR the other day, and Jake Burns' hot prediction was that Nick Chubb is going to suit up and take the field within the first 4 weeks. And that sounded really interesting to me. I really liked hearing his perspective on that. But I just want to be a little bit conservative with it, just because I think that's the approach the team is going to take. So I still think Nick is going to be significant. He's going to be a contributor. They'll probably just bring him along slowly, in my opinion.
Y'all motherfuckers must have forgot.
Oh, no.
Nicholas J. Chubb. I think he misses the first 3 games of the year. I think he runs for 1,300 yards. 1,305.
Oh, baby. Comeback player of the year?
11 touchdowns and a career best 5.7 per carry for a full season. Y'all motherfuckers must have forgot who you're talking about.
This guy.
Nick Chubb.
Damn. He would win comeback player of the year if he did that.
Probably won't. It'll be the Watson tax. They'll probably give it to someone else.
But literally that would be some Adrian Peterson.
Like Adrian was for 2 G's.
So I know. But
It's dude. This is Nick Chubb, man. This people are going to be like, oh yeah. Of course he did. Of course that's what he does.
Oh man. All right.
I don't even think I want to answer now. Because I'm going to sound like an asshole. Everybody's going to be like, oh, fuck.
Jacob hates Nick Chubb. Listen,
he hates Nick Chubb. There's a Nick Chubb jersey right there, but I hate him.
My show promo is going to be like,
a lot of gay dudes have wives.
You
know what I mean? It's just a show.
It's going to be the clipped part up. It's just going to be a clipped piece of Casey being like, why do you hate Nick Chubb? Like, give me 750 for Chubb, 1,100 for the rest of the team, so right around 1,900.
Okay.
On the year. Okay. Motherfucker. All right.
I think that would be okay, but let's put it in perspective. If Nick Chubb comes back from the second huge knee injury and he rushed for like 700 yards, that would be a tremendous outcome.
For a regular human, it would be. For Nick Chubb, it ain't enough.
Okay. I respect it. I respect it.
I'm like, not even, I don't, yeah. All right. So,
look, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to hear shit about this, but when I'm right, screaming this from the mountaintops.
Well, this would be a great clip.
Clip it. With the date, make sure it's time stamped. All right, Casey, you're up. Myles Garrett sack numbers.
All right, here we go. Just another pedestrian year for Myles Garrett. 18 sacks.
Son of a bitch.
Me too.
You should never let me go first, Jacob.
That's 3. I'll take that.
Your house bugged.
That's sweet, baby.
I just pedestrian. It's just clocking in for work, eating your lunch, clocking out, going home. 18 sack clockwork.
All right, 18 sacks. All right, moving on.
I just want to say, I think that if the offense is better, like we're predicting, the defense is finally going to be able to feast.
Yeah,
and they're finally going to be able to feast. And I'm not. Myles Garrett gets way too close to way too many of these quarterbacks for them to not end in some damn sacks this year. So 18 sacks, book it.
Also, we have to set a date for Andy Manchin's 12-pack challenge.
I forgot. Yeah,
he texted me a couple of hours ago.
The revenge of Michael Hall Jr.
Yeah, he said that he had to. Yeah, Michael Hall. Thank you, brother.
Local poker shark, Andy Manchin, by the way,
for sure.
I think everybody that final table he made took home a minimum of $11,000.
Yeah,
he took.
And ain't none of those dudes at that table drinking like him.
None of them.
Not a one.
He took home more in that tournament than I make in a year.
Let's go.
What is the only reason I brought that up is Drew wants to know a punishment if I miss on the Njoku touchdowns. The punishment,
You
the
didn't.
bet
If it doesn't
episode,
happen, you never said it.
yeah, the bet episode where we do set bets as we do every year, that will come before week 1, right before week 1.
Yeah, we'll call it best bets, and we each have to we'll have to figure it out. Like we'll have to work this out, but I think we should each have to come with a few.
Okay, I'm in. I hit on that Amari Cooper. I talked about this last year. The Amari Cooper's over for receiving yards last year was like 900 on FanDuel.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I was like, this is stupid. I hit that and like with like multiple weeks to spare, like easy breathe. What did he finish with? 1250? It was like 900
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a career high. He
didn't play the final 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll start JOK tackles for loss. Somehow Drew knew that's what we were about to do. He says
plugged in, man. Drew knows.
Drew does know.
I say 25.
Okay. Wow.
I just think, and this is like almost cheating because one of our last ones that we're gonna do towards the end of this is breakout player, and I'm not gonna choose JOK because I think he kind of broke out last year. It depends on what you defined as a breakout, but like he will cement his place as one of the best linebackers in football that isn't a pass rusher in 2024. I really think so.
I very much agree. He was such a dynamic force for the Browns last year. And certainly linebacker's weird. I feel like you have to do it for multiple years to truly get that type of respect. So I think when JOK puts together a second campaign, that's really impressive. For reference, he had 20 tackles for loss last year. I'm at 22. I think he's going to improve. But I also think that there will be more contributions from the linebacker core as well. So I'm thinking he's going to up it, but yeah, I mean, 22 tackles for loss, 25 tackles for loss. That's a crazy high number.
Yeah, I mean, I have 24, so I mean, I was right in there. I was prepared to prices right, Jacob. Then you prices righted me. I was already set. I think the difference is I think you're going to see more sacks from him this year. I think you'll get 3 or 4 sacks. I do think he scores a touchdown this year.
Okay.
He's been so close on scoop and score so many times where it's just bounced the wrong way at the last second. He's going to get one this year.
Okay. Who's doing an Ed in Columbus punishment dance?
Oh boy. That man's a unique. He's got the moves all to himself. I think he
does. I don't think I have those.
I don't have an ounce of them.
Back to Nick. Emerson interceptions.
I'm gonna say 5. So last year I had 4, right? Last year I had 4, so not getting too pie in the sky. But all right, so just spoiler overall. People are talking about this like defensive regression stuff for like the Browns defense on the road and their struggles and whatever. I look at the defense and I say, you added a ton of talent. You have a second year in a defensive system. You showed tremendous promise in so many situations. And if the offense, it does do their part, you should be able to feast, right? Because keep in mind, the Browns led the league in turnovers last year, which was just put the defense in all of these shit situations so many different times. And despite that, they were a damn good unit overall. I get it. I'm right. I get the road struggles. I get it. Still out of the least yards per game in the NFL. That's the defense has talent at every level. And my breakout player is also going to contribute to that. So I'm predicting good, like 18 sacks from Miles
You
Garrett.
better not have.
I might. I don't know. 5 interceptions from Martin Emerson. I'm saying that the Browns are going to have a dominant defense. Top to bottom, they're going to have a dominant defense. They have all the talent to do so. They have the right defensive coordinator to do so.
Go ahead.
And I got 4. I got 4 interceptions. I'm sure it's what you had too. 4 interceptions. I think he takes one to the house. I think one of those goes back to the house. Kind of going to jump the shark on this. Emerson's going to come up again here in a minute. Put it that way.
Okay.
I give him 3 because I just wonder how much they'll throw at him. Which, granted, I don't know if you have much choice because the other dudes aren't scrubs either. Yeah, you gonna throw at Denzel? Like, is that what you're gonna get? That's a good point. Because like that's why everybody complained about Emerson not having like interception numbers in college because nobody fucking threw at him.
They didn't try him after his freshman year.
They were like, let's not do that. So I get 3, 4 somewhere in there. I think 5's a fair number too. I think 3 to 5 is. I think you're very safe. Very safe. You feel very comfortable and safe if you were in that range.
Agreed.
So down to Casey, points per game.
All right, man. So Nick just talked about how the defense did with yardage. I think the defense is more stingy this year, and it's going to be very evident in the fact that when the Browns are going to score, I have 28.9 points per game. I think they'll be in the top 5 in points per game.
Okay.
And the defense, I expect the defense to be a little stingier on the touchdowns since I expect the offense to give over less turnovers. So that 28.9, man, it's what I always say, man. Give me 5 scoring drives. They ain't all got to be touchdowns. You give me 3 touchdowns, give me 2 field goals. That's where you're at, baby, right there.
That's 4 touchdowns a game. That is hot.
A little lower, but give me 25.5. Somewhere around there, which is 3, again, could be 3 scores to 3 touchdowns, a field goal, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me about 25 and a half, somewhere around that. I'll take that. I think cut down on turnovers, and I think they'll just be more efficient on both sides. Like just the efficiency things is where I think they go.
I come out right around you, Jacob. I said 26 points per game. For reference, they scored a little over 23 points per game last year. And like those numbers are really hard to follow with all the quarterbacks that they trotted out there. So I'm just going to say that they'll get somewhere in that neighborhood of like 3 touchdowns, maybe a couple field goals. Dustin Hopkins. I just realized the all pros might be missing a guy because Dustin Hopkins is great, but we'll talk about that soon.
Okay. I'm up. Win-loss record. I'm going to do it. I thought all day about this. I thought all day. First, let's get the 2 comments. We had 2 comments. Drew says 12-4-1. He's got a tie coming.
Ooh, Drew. That is
MC says 12-5, and Watson only plays in 5 games and wins 3 of them. And Jameis goes 9-3. I'll be honest with you. If that was the
how fun would that be, though?
I wouldn't. Well, what I was going to say is I wouldn't be shocked by that sort of thing.
Jameis would own the town.
Oh, God.
Honestly,
he already does. Give him the fucking keys.
It would be insane. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. 13-4.
Oh,
see, this is where I get mad at you, Jacob, for taking my number.
Oh, shit. 13-4.
Okay, well, I'll just piggyback. I got 13-4 as well. And like I said earlier, I got Watson starting 14 games, and I think he goes 10-4. I think Winston goes 3-0.
Damn. Okay. All right. Now, for reference, the Browns, for whatever stock you put into it, the Browns have the hardest strength of schedule in the league.
Based on last year, that's bullshit, though.
Okay. They also play in the best division in football.
Facts.
All right. So I'm trying to, you know what? 11 is just this golden number. They've hit it twice already. I'm saying 3 11-win seasons in 5 years for the Browns. 3 11-win seasons. And if you're 11-6, like if you're 13-4 after this year, that is you are easily one of the best teams in the entire NFL, which is.
I want to say,
let's go quick. I'm gonna fire off. Let's go quick bonus, real quick around the horn. Division record. I'm going 4-2. I think we sweep Pittsburgh. This will be either we sweep Pittsburgh or split the other 2.
4-2. Yeah, I'll take that. Yep.
At 11-6 for me, a 4-2. 4-2 sounds good.
Keep in mind these are way too early predictions, and we're having a lot of fun. So some of this is just
okay.
Dude, we haven't been wrong yet.
What the heck? We haven't.
We haven't been wrong yet.
Okay, so back to Nick. Team sacks.
Oh, team sacks. Okay, I have this here. Okay, so last year the Browns had 49 team sacks. I'm expecting the. I used a lot of previous for the reference. I'm expecting the offense to be better. I'm expecting them to put teams in holes. Okay, 55 team sacks, 55 of them.
Ooh.
I was gonna say 100. I was just gonna say 100 and see what everybody says. MC says 5-1 in the division. Drew 5-0-1 in the division.
Oh baby, who we tying, Drew?
Yeah, Drew, tell us who we're tying, man. I got to get
Not
to the
Pittsburgh
sports
again.
books on that.
Casey, what do you got? Team sacks.
I have 54. I'm right there with Nick. I think that this is just they're just going to build on it. They're going to find themselves in position to hunt more in the fourth quarter, and I think that this will be the first time though that the Browns have double-digit sacks for more than one player.
Oh, who's the other player?
Zadarius.
Darius
had a shit ton of pressures last year that weren't converted. So I think that we get there. I think we get to the point where he actually gets 10 again.
60.
Oh,
It's in the realm of possibility with this, especially this defensive line, man. They're not going to have to manipulate a lot of pressure. They're going to get it organically, and then you can dial it at certain times and get people like JOK and Grant. You got a guy like Ogbo you can weaponize. You get more interior pass rush than any team in the league. No team in the league has 3 serviceable rotational pass rushers. You can just keep them out there.
The fact that Ogbo is your third and isn't like starting and would be, I'm not saying he'd be the number 1 on a bunch of teams, but he would at minimum be the number 2 on a bunch of teams.
Agreed.
And he's not a starter and he's a weapon that just gets to stay fresh.
And there's a handful of teams he would be the number 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man. Alex Wright came on last year, too. He had a sack in 3 straight games, 4 straight games there. I'm just saying that was some nice. Those were some nice performances from him. And if you get a little more push up in the interior there. Oh, baby.
Casey, our last team prediction, turnovers.
32 in honor of Jim Brown.
Man, I thought
32.
I thought about it.
I think they had 28 last year.
They did.
Slight uptick. Like I said, I got a couple going back for touchdowns. Like I think this defense is going to be weaponizable. I think this defense is just going to be a fucking weapon.
I land at 30.
Why do you hate the defense so much?
Yeah, I know.
I do. I also landed 30. For whatever reason, the Browns had a tough time creating turnovers. They play good
Early
defense.
In the year.
Yeah. So I would love to see them create. Like, what if they just force 40? That would be fun. Like, what okay. So if they're gonna have Jacob, if they're gonna have what did you say, 60 sacks? 60 sacks?
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna have 60 sacks, some percentage of those are gonna end up in turnover, sack, fumbles. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. They could really say the ball bounces their way this time, and these sacks, Myles Garrett gets home more like we're all predicting. That could end up in turnovers in a hurry, man.
All right, we've now moved. Casey, wait, Casey, you started that, didn't you?
I don't know.
It's back to
Alpha and the Omega.
Bold prediction time. Breakout players.
All right.
Player. Singular. Give me Ronnie Hickman.
Ooh.
Okay, then you weren't going to steal mine. I thought you were going to
No,
steal mine.
I was not.
I had a fucking terrible time trying to figure this out. And I will feel a lot better when we make our not way too early bold predictions, but do our just actual bold predictions, and we do our betting show, and we do all this stuff. I just think I look at it this way. Rodney McLeod has already said this week, this is it for him. This is one last ride. He's retiring after this year. He's 34. He finished last year on IR. Juan Thornhill, I don't really expect, like, Juan Thornhill hasn't been a guy that, like, injuries have really plagued his career. I mean, everybody's had injuries, but he's not really that guy where it's like, oh, he's not like Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, who we're going to miss a couple of games. Like, but that injury just nagged all year. I'm sure he's healthy, but if something happens, well, and if it happens again, you then play Ronnie Hickman more. And I just think the way they used Ronnie Hickman, like, the thing about Hickman was he's a forward-facing downhill thumper, and you don't want him out there trying to dissect a bunch of plays and route concepts and watching the quarterback. You just want him to play forward, close to the line of scrimmage. Now, he played great in the back at deep safety this past year, but didn't ever do that great in high school or in college. And I think that Jim Schwartz has just really understood that skill set and where he excels. And I think Ronnie Hickman has confidence now. And I think he's kind of one of those guys that once he gets a little bit of confidence, once he starts believing in himself a little bit, he gets rolling. And so I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro. I'm not even saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler. But if you're talking about a guy that comes out of nowhere and breaks out and establishes himself as a solid above average starter for this team, I think it's Ronnie Hickman in 2024.
So I like what you were saying about Juan Thornhill and how he hasn't typically dealt with injuries. So I know Juan Thornhill is already a Super Bowl champion. I get it. But people treat that dude in Cleveland like he is John Johnson and just
call him John Johnson the fourth, and he was not bad last year. I hate it. I hate people.
I know. But sometimes fits just don't work. I don't know why it didn't work. It didn't work. All I'm saying is people treat Juan Thornhill like he's not even trying. And that dude's a champion. He was good for the Chiefs. I am predicting, and maybe this is more bounce back than breakout, but I'm predicting a comeback type breakout in Cleveland year for Juan Thornhill. I think they signed him for a reason. I think he's a good player. He's had 3 interceptions twice in his career already. I'm going to say he's going to have 3 interceptions himself. There's going to be some turnovers to go around in that Browns defense. I think Juan's going to have better injury luck. And I think he's going to play damn well next to Grant Delpit, who in his own right really was breaking out before his season ended with injury. So I think the Browns are going to have one hell of a tandem at safety. And Juan is going to prove that he's worth that deal.
Side note, how about a 6-run, 5-nailer RBI inning?
Son of a bitch. I don't have the game on.
But Bo hits a 2-run double, and Josh Naylor hits a 3-run bomb in a 6-run Guardians second inning.
Go Guards. First place Guards, by the way.
So my breakout player is this actually a cheat? Because in my opinion, he broke out last year. Didn't get the accolades. Talked about him earlier. Martin Emerson, MJ. Mm-hmm. He gave up 0 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Can't give up less. 0. He was in the top 3 in both quarterback percentage allowed when targeted and quarterback rating when targeted. He's going to do it again this year. He's going to do the same thing he did last year, except this year he's going to get the accolades. He got snubbed. He didn't even receive a Pro Bowl. He should have been an All-Pro. So I think those things will be coming his way. And I felt that he was the best corner on the team last year. Nationally, it's still believed to be Denzel. I think that this is the year the torch is passed from a national perception standpoint, and Martin Emerson is given his flowers for being the dog that he is.
If that Jacksonville Browns rumor week 2 is true, you know who the most pissed off person in the world is going to be that it is the case? It's Trevor Lawrence, because Martin Emerson made that dude's day hell when he came up here to Cleveland.
Just pure fucking hell.
Maybe that's where he gets his touchdown.
Ooh, that would be fun. Because let's talk about something real quick. The Browns historically in Jacksonville are dog shit. right?
Yeah.
We got to change that this year. I'm not going down to these stupid Jaguars who signed Gabe Davis and then copied it by drafting
Brian Thomas. Yeah.
Brian Thomas, right? And let Calvin
Who's
Ridley.
everything that Gabe Davis is. He's everything that Gabe Davis supposedly is. They're the same player.
Like Doug Peterson is like desperately trying to turn them into like not a clown show, and I will not stand for losing to those to them. They had one, like Philadelphia is the only team that saved them from being the biggest collapse of the year. I'm not losing to them. Go Browns.
Oh God, I didn't even read one of these things that you put down here at the bottom until just now.
Yeah, I figured that's how this went.
I did not see that. Okay, motherfucker. All right, that would mean we start with Nick here, all pro selections.
Okay, here it is. I've got Myles Garrett, and like I said, I'm predicting the Browns defense to be this dominant unit. Okay, I've got Myles Garrett. I've got Denzel Ward. I've got Martin Emerson. I've got J.O.K. and I've got Grant Delpit. And on the offense side, I got Wyatt Teller. We're sending five of them from the Browns defense. Ooh. That unit is going to be great. They have talent at every level. They have a great defensive coordinator. They have all the reasons. If the offense just doesn't put them in continuously shit positions, they will thrive. Mark my words. They just need the damn help from. Listen, Deshaun. No more of these turnovers. We can't do it anymore. It cannot. And Joe Flacco, I don't care what quarterback is out there. Stop throwing the ball to the other team. Stop. The defense is elite, and they need to show it. They need the opportunity. And the damn offense puts them in these shit positions. I'm tired of it. They're amazing, and I want everybody else to know.
I need hair gel. Like, this is fucking control.
All right, let's run the list. It's always going to be Myles first. That's going to be the first name of everyone's board here. So you got Myles, I got J.O.K., I got Martin Emerson.
Okay.
And I go to the other side, I got David Njoku and DeJuan Jones. That's my 5. Oh, sorry. I'm at 6. Naheem Hines gets a kick returns.
All pro. We're housing. We're special team housing then.
Yeah. That's how we're doing it.
That's the sexiest brand of football there is.
Corey Bajorquez.
Ooh.
J.O.K. Myles. MJ. Joel Bitonio.
Bounce back Joel year.
Dude, what a fucking beautiful time we live in that we have this many options. Think about that.
And we're not full of shit. Like, we're a little full of shit, but not completely.
Are we?
You know what I mean? That's
like, did any of us name a player that shouldn't be at the upper end of their position in the NFL?
No. But I'm just saying, like, 5 for a team, that's a lot, but it is plausible. Like, so, like, it could end up only being 2 or 3, but like, it's plausible.
Man, I'll tell you what. I watched Grant Delpit pick the ball off and just be in the backfield, sacking the quarterback, doing all of this stuff that I've watched these other team safeties do for so long. And I am still pissed that he was robbed of the rest of his season because, man, it was happening. Grant Delpit, that's my flag plant. Grant Delpit's an all-pro. He is. That pick is going to make Andrew Berry look very smart.
The next one is stupid. Casey wants to know how many times will Greg Newsome celebrate?
All of them.
94. I'm gonna say 94.
94. Oh, we got.
It was a joke. You don't have to answer that.
I'm gonna go the mature route and say 69.
Yeah, you motherfucker.
I'll call it an easy 420.
There we go. That's probably closer.
I like his glasses. They're a lot of fun. Press conferences.
All right. Second to last category, Jameis Winston starts 1 week 17.
3-0 for JMO. Middle of the season too. I think it's going to be just the middle of the season. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the same scenario we had last year where week 17 is just a play whoever you want game. I think we're going to be in it for the division, 13-4, with teams right on our heels. So we're going to have to win week 17.
I got one. I think Deshaun knows he has to protect himself, and he's going to take it seriously because his career rides on it, honestly. One.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Start with you, Nick. AFC North, end of the year standings.
Okay, I get it. I know I said the Browns are going to be 11-6, but I think the AFC is, again, just the juggernaut. And so I think all these teams are going to beat up on each other. So I've got the Browns winning the AFC North for the first time at 11-6. I've got them winning the AFC. They're going to win this damn division, and people are going to stop saying that we've never won the AFC North. That is like on my wish list that doesn't include postseason success. Winning the division is number one because I can't stand it. I can't stand it. The division's been there since like 1989 or whatever, 1990. I don't know. Anyway,
it's 89, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, it's time. And the Browns overcame more than anybody else last year as a team, and I think that's going to show itself on the field this year. I think they're going to win the division. Now, I hate this. I hate it. But Steelers won't die. And fine. I'll give you respect. Steelers are going to be number 2. Steelers are number 2. I'm not hearing it. They have great drafts all the time. They're probably going to play great defense. Somehow Russell Wilson or Justin Fields will they won. They went to the playoffs, and I get it. They had their little Mickey Mouse trophy when Baltimore rested all their guys and got to the playoffs. I get that. But they're the Steelers, and that's what they do. So fine. Have your flowers. People are going to be second in the division, even with your quarterback, whatever that is. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens lost a ton of staff, and I don't care. I don't care that they normally win all these games in the regular season. I just think that when you look at what they added and you look at what they lost, that sheet on the other side is a lot bigger than a lot of people are talking about, and I think it's going to play out this year. For reference, 11-6, 10-7, 9-8 Baltimore, 8-9 Cincinnati basement Bengals. I just think that they've got 2 players requesting trades. They've got this team chemistry, whatever that is. Joe Burrow's coming back from another injury. I don't think the Bengals. It's not a bad season, right? You're close to 500. You're right there, but I just think that they've got some internal issues, and that is also gonna play out on the field. And so I'm saying the Bengals are staying in the basement back-to-back years.
Well, for the first time since 1989, the Browns win the division. 13-4 is enough to get it done. I do think it's going to be a 2-team race. I wish Baltimore was worse than they are. I think they're really well coached, and they have there's some questions on the offensive line. They do have Nick's right. They did lose more. There hasn't been enough clarity on the direction they're going to go to certain positions, but I still think they're going to manage to go 11-6. I think they're going to be in it till the end. I got Cincinnati in 3rd place. I think they go 10-6.
Okay.
Or 10-7. Sorry, 10-7. And then I got Pittsburgh, man. And I've said this for years because I want them to be bad. And on paper, they're not good. But damn it, man, they're always right at the level. They're going to keep it alive with a 9-8 record. They can hold on their Tomlin never lost the season type thing. But they're finishing 4th place, and this is the year we fucking sweep them bitches.
Wow.
This is the year. And then I can officially dance on their grave. I'm reserving that until we handle our business 2-0 against Pittsburgh. And you said your checklist is number 1, you will win the division.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's sweeping Pittsburgh. For me, it's just like that monkey big brother bullshit we had to hear for years.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of the way.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
How many playoff teams?
3.
No. 2.
The question is 10-7 enough to get in now that there's 7 seeds? So I think 2 for sure with a 3rd possible 7th seed.
I'm just not okay. So like I look at Baltimore and I'm like, okay, they have Zay Flowers, who had a really nice season as a rookie wide receiver. They got Mark Andrews, who's coming back from another injury, right? Going to be 29 this year, so we'll see. But it's like outside of that, you re-signed Rashad Bateman, who has not done a whole lot of anything for you, and you drafted Devontae Walker, and that's and so like they do have Derrick Henry, but I mean he's over 30, and then aside from that, it's like Keaton Mitchell's recovering from ACL surgery. And I'm not sure what Kamani Vindal, no, not him, Rasheen Ali is going to be for them. But I just look at them on offense, and I'm like, unless Lamar Jackson goes truly nuclear rushing wise, and he just hasn't been like Lamar's rushing upside masks like the fact that like I'm not saying he's a bad passer. He's just not a guy that's throwing for 35 touchdowns and a ton of yards. So it's like if your rushing game isn't there. I just think that this and then combine that with the fact that you've lost a ton of your brain power in the defensive side of the room. Like the bottom could fall. Not the bottom falling out could be like 9-8 for them, but still, I think it could.
I think Isaiah Likely will have a big year.
Oh, I forgot about Likely.
I think he'll emerge as that new tight end and blah 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 blah.
Okay,
there it is, boys and girls.
Hey, we have a show sweep of the Cleveland Browns winning the division for the first time since it's been the AFC North. And there's nothing that's a home playoff game, right? Which would be very fitting, right? With all this stadium stuff, like just imagine Cleveland Browns Stadium finally getting playoff games. Like I feel like it deserves it for all the waiting that everyone has done. I would love to see playoff games on the lake. With that being said, please help 3 guys here chase dreams. Click the subscribe button. It's free.
Click it.
Totally free. You guys are watching. We see the YouTube videos. They're great. Or YouTube views. They're great. Twitch views, Twitter views, the whole thing. Help people chase their dreams. We love you. And the fact that you've spent this time with us listening to these way too early predictions, I can't wait. This is like a show. Please bookmark, clip the whole thing. Can't wait to circle back. That being said, this has been a way too early prediction episode of the Cleveland Browns Barking Browns show. I'm Nick.
Nailed it.
Jacob. That's Casey. Go Browns.
Go Browns.